Hello there! So today I wanted to try something new, and that's making a top something list on my channel. And I decided to start with a top 5 Lego Star Wars sets I own list. So without further ado, let's get into it. So for number 5 I chose the 2012 Lego XWing. I chose this one above the other X-Wing I have because that one came with Yoda's cabin, and it's an excellent X-Wing, but if you want to make a big fleet of X-Wings, then you will also have a big fleet of Yoda's cabins, and it will be way too expensive to obtain one compared to this one. And this one just is way better detailed. The minifig selection is fantastic because this is also the only set that Jack Porkins comes in, and that's a big win for me. So you can reenact the Death Star assault in A New Hope very well. If you have two of these, then one is occupied by Jack and the other is obviously occupied by Luke, and that way they can work together. It's just fantastic. I also chose this one above the B-Wing I have because this is a way more iconic vehicle, and this one has a very well working mechanism, whereas the B-Wing doesn't. I do like just how this works. Very fast, very smooth. So yeah, because of the minifigs, because it looks very good, and because it's so iconic, it's on number 5. Now on to number 4. So at number 4 I needed to include this one because this is just such a big badass vehicle. The clone turbo tank is just amazing. Just the shape and the big 10 wheels underneath that can perform turns when banking over. Very well designed, very awesome. And I believe this one is even better than the version that came after in 2010. This one is from 2005. Only drawback is because it only reenacts one scene in the 2005 movie, the episode 3, and that's on Kashyyyk, and you only have one trooper that was seen in that scene. Mace Windu wasn't even there. These troopers weren't there either. This is supposed to be Commander Bly, which is from Luminara's division, and not even Mace Windu's division. But I do like the inclusion of the turret here. Makes it more multi-purpose, like you can put up defenses and such instead of just attacking. And Mace Windu's lightsaber that can light up is just fantastic. I also like the inclusion of the two bad guys, so you can play around a bit more. The speeder too is very well executed. So yeah, overall a pretty nice set, very badass. Only thing is the minifig selection. So on to number 3. I had to zoom the camera out. It's just so massive. It's such a big vehicle and such an icon. Of course, the 2003 8080. I just had to include this one. It's such an iconic, big, badass vehicle. And you look at it. It just looks wonderful. You can pose the legs. You can tilt the head left to right. You can open the side panel to reveal the troopers inside, which you can carry 4 of those. It's so wonderfully built, so massive, and just so sexy. I love this thing so much. If there was a house fire, this is the first thing I would take with me. And just look at the guns. It's very clever how they pulled this off. They used well, what we call a waterpomptang. It's a tool piece. It's a clamp or something. And they used it to make a big blaster out of it, and it's very clever. I also like just the inclusion of the cockpit here. Drawback is I can only fit one, whilst there were 4 people standing in the cockpit in Empire Strikes Back. But just looking at it, reenacting that one scene from Empire Strikes Back where Luke is taking one down by using the grapple and his lightsaber with in combination with a grenade is fantastic. Yes, of course, I did criticize the Clone Turbo Tank for only reenacting one specific event, but taking away the snowtroopers and Luke, and Luke can be used anywhere because it's just him in his regular flight suit, then only thing you need to do is add some stormtroopers and put it on Endor or something like that. It's very universal in its use, and again, it looks fantastic. Only drawback furthermore is you can see the blue bits in the back of its neck and in the front behind his cheeks, and the cheeks are also not the sturdiest thing. But that's very forgivable because it was the beginning of the 2000s and this was the first playset sized AT-AT you can get, and this remains my favorite playset AT-AT even when there's a new one coming up. I won't be needing that one because I have this one. This one is making me very happy that I own this one. So yeah, on to the next one. Yes, of course I was going to include this one. At number 2, the UCS Slave 1. Yes, it's just such a big, badass vehicle and such also an icon. It is an iconic vehicle, and I'm gonna use this gesture a lot in this video, but mwah, mwah. It is so nice. It is minifig scale. You can land it even, just the way it lands in the movie, with the little wings following around the movement you're making, just slightly, but yes. And there's a lot of playability to it. It has these side panels that reveal guns when pulling them out. Rockets even. Boba Fett with a very nice print on him. It even has Captain Solo stuck in the carbonite here. This way, there he is. So yeah, overall fantastic. It reenacts also a scene from The Empire Strikes Back where at the end Captain Solo was captured by Boba Fett, of course, and the Bespin Guard you see here together with the Stormtrooper, they were there in that scene loading up Han Solo so he can be flown away by this magnificent machine. Only thing is the price. 200 euros is a bit much for most people. I was gladly spending it. It is well worth his money. It is worth every penny of it, the last penny. But in looking at accessibility, it is a bit lacking in that direction. But looking at the pros to this is just fantastic. Look at the guns moving simultaneously, the wings. It's very, very well designed. If only they could manage to make this a little nicer, a little bit more smooth here at the edge. But that's just nitpicking. I love this, and he loves me. Yeah, this is that kind of video. On to the next one. So here it is, my number 1 pick for this list, the 2013 Republic Gunship. It is fantastic, it hits every box just right. In the sense of playability and displayability, it is fantastic. You can play with it using the flick-fire missiles right here, I'm not too charmed by flick-fire missiles, but it's a nice inclusion because it also was a very big part in episode 2, them using missiles. You have these storage spaces on either side. The cockpits can open, the turrets can open, all of them. The cargo bay opens very nicely. And at the back we have the speeder right here, which pops out like this. And of course all the turrets can move. You also have a little compartment for lightsabers and that sort of thing. It has fantastic minifigs, with most of them being exclusive, like Anakin and Padme. And also the captain and the clone pilot are very desired figures. I do prefer this one above the old 2002 gunship, because in the 2002 gunship you cannot do this with one finger. You can pull this along. It is very well balanced. It also is canted a little bit forward, instead of all horizontal like this, a little bit like it's just taking off. And that's a very good feature, because in the movie you also see them flying with the guns pointing a little bit towards the ground. I do also like this vehicle in general. It is based on, loosely based on the Mi-24 Hind helicopter from the Russians, which was very famous in the Afghan war, which it's a abysmal war, but the helicopter itself is fantastic. It is such a badass vehicle, and you can see it coming back in the gunship, in the sense of the ball cockpit, the guns at the front, because the Hind had a big cannon at the front, the two very big engines which are situated above the cockpit, like this one also has, and the wings are sloping like this outwards, and that's also a feature of the Mi-24. This a very recognizable vehicle for military enthusiasts like me, and that's also partially why I like this one so much. And it is the number one spot because it is also very accessible. It was back in 2014 when I bought this one, like 140 or 150 euros, and that's fantastic because you get so much playability and displayability in such a small package. I'm just so fond of this vehicle. That's why this is the number one pick for my list. So this has been my top 5 LEGO Star Wars sets. I really enjoyed making this video. I really did, because elaborating the things you like and why you like them is always fun to do. And in the near future I may be making more of these videos. So if you agree with me or disagree with me, always leave a comment in the comment section, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye!